Picture this. You're a healer, a doctor, a therapist, a light worker, a shaman. Or maybe you're just the friend that everyone goes to for advice. You want to fix the world. You want to mend broken hearts and patch shattered lives. Who wouldn't? But wait, how do you pour from an empty cup? What happens when you are at war with yourself? To help others, we must first face ourselves. First face ourselves. Carl Jung, the famous Swiss psychiatrist and ultimate mystic, once said, "We cannot change anything unless we accept it." But acceptance isn't as easy as it sounds, because it means confronting your shadow, the parts of us that we'd rather hide. Jung called this the shadow, your flaws, your insecurities, your need for validation, your vices, and even the dreams that you've discarded. So it's nothing evil or bad. It's just a part of you that's been pushed into the dark corners of your psyche. And ignoring it, well, that's a one-way ticket to what Jung called a sacred disease of inner conflict. And here's the kicker. You can't help others unless you've faced your own shadow. For a blind man can't lead another blind man. And yet, ironically, the world is full of healers who are busy ignoring their darkness while rushing to fix everyone else with love and light. Let's be real. Judging others is easy. But as Jung said, condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Oppresses. So harsh judgment, whether of others or ourselves, simply does not heal. Rather, it just deepens the wounds. So true healing can only come when we trade judgment for what Jung called unprejudiced objectivity. What is unprejudiced objectivity? Well, we can think of it as seeing someone's pain and suffering, but without slapping a moral label on it. Certainly, it's not about validating delusions or illusions, or otherwise sugarcoating the truth, but rather it's about understanding without judgment. Understanding without judgment. Because let's face it, the people seeking help already feel judged enough. So here's the twist. Even the so-called dark parts of us, our anger, insecurity, fear, jealousy, greed, whatever, they're all just gateways to understanding. Jung believed that even in our so-called demons, we can sense the divine will. In other words, the shadow isn't something to destroy, annihilate, but rather something that we integrate. When we avoid our shadows, we create inner conflict, a war between the ego and the shadow, or as Goethe so poetically put it, two souls, alas, dwell in my breast apart. And so this division is the root of neurosis, a state where you're constantly at odds with yourself. Sound familiar? But when we embrace the shadow, that's actually where peace begins. Because when we stop wrestling with our flaws and start observing them with compassion, we realize they're not as monstrous doom and gloom as we had once originally thought. And here's the secret. When you accept yourself, others feel safe to do the same. Self-acceptance isn't about ignoring our faults, it's about owning them. Jung said, only he who has accepted himself completely possesses unprejudiced objectivity. So in simpler terms, you can't be a true healer if you're still running from your own reflection. When you embrace your shadow, you become a beacon for others. You show them that it's okay to be imperfect. You show them that it's okay to struggle and to feel. Because healing isn't about perfection. It's about connection, integration, and wholeness. So where do we go from here? Curiosity is a great place to start. Childlike curiosity. Just be curious. Instead of condemning your mistakes or fears, get to know them curiously. Meditate, reflect, even journal about your shadow. And you'll find that the parts of you that you've been avoiding actually hold the keys to your greatest growth. Remember, a mind at war with itself can only find peace when darkness is brought to the light. So whether you're a healer, a seeker, or someone just trying to figure it all out, embrace your shadow. Because healing the world actually starts with healing yourself. Namaste. And remember, one love.